you ever wondered why every street you cross in India seems to have at least 2 to 3 IVF centers? And the moment you turn on the radio, all you hear is about how some clinics are offering some kind of discounts on IVF treatments. The IVF industry is a multi-million dollar machine, and the number of people who are seeking fertility treatment is also skyrocketing. It is also said to be increased by around 25 to 30% in the near future. Now, this increase is because of the fact that most people don't have that stigma they used to have before to enter into a fertility clinic. The awareness about IVF also has increased vastly thanks to social media, but unfortunately, this over-information is also kind of backfired because it has led to a lot of people self-diagnosing themselves to have fertility issues when they actually don't. Not only that, newly married couples are also constantly bombarded by family members, which in turn forces them to go to these IVF clinics. Now, with any booming industry, you know what happens, right? All these corporate parasites keep stepping in, eager to make some quick money. The average cost of an IVF cycle in India is about 2.5 lakhs to 3.5 lakhs per cycle, and also it does not require a huge setup. It's only a minimal setup requirement. So of course there's a lot of money to be made, and the corporate guys are not going to leave it alone. Now, some of these IVF clinics go so minimal that they don't even have properly functioning operation theaters. Why? Because they only care about this one step, which is the egg collection, which is a very small part of this whole IVF procedure. And good thing is, or bad thing, it doesn't require a fully functioning operation theater. Whereas the equipments that actually address the fertility issue requires a whole laparoscopic unit. And of course, these guys are not going to put money in for that. You should also remember there was a time when these corporates were hiring fake medicos or quacks even without checking the validity of their degrees. Thankfully, that practice has decreased a lot, but it's still happening in some places. Like recently in Delhi, they busted a whole underground racket involving infant trafficking. It's absolutely disgusting. See, you cannot blame the gynecologists who are working in these clinics because you know what? They are also given a target to achieve every year, and if they don't achieve that, their jobs are on the line. Because fresh out of medical school, they see a very lucrative pay with very less number of hours of work. Job availability is a lot more, and no night duties, right? So they sign up for a quick fellowship course in fertility, start practicing in these clinics with very, very incomplete knowledge. They do not take the time that is needed to acquire other skills like laparoscopic surgeries, which could fix many of these fertility issues without the need of IVF. All they're trying to do is stimulate, retrieve, and perform IVF. I'm glad the rules are actually changing because now doctors need to have at least work for 3 years before they start sitting in their own IVF unit to start practicing. But I still feel this is not enough. It should be made mandatory for all practitioners to be trained in advanced laparoscopic procedures for at least 1 year. That way, everyone can give a holistic fertility treatment for the patients and not just focus on IVF. Because what I feel is all this has really torn out the very essence of what it is to be a gynecologist. Because I take pride in caring for my patients right from the conception right till the day I deliver their baby. Now, what these corporate IVF clinics are trying to do is they are cutting out the complete emergency service, and they don't even offer the option for delivering the babies that they even help to conceive. It's like as though they ripped out the soul of gynecology. Their math is simple. More IVF cycles means more money, and unfortunately for them, there is no money in delivering babies, so they don't bother. Let me be very clear, I am not anti-IVF. I believe in IVF when it is truly indicated because I run an IVF clinic myself. But what I don't understand is how these clinics can pride themselves on the number of IVF cycles they do. See, I am actually alarmed at the number of women who are undergoing IVF treatment when it is completely not indicated. And also, I am even more surprised by the number of women who are having donor IVF cycles with absolutely zero reason to do so. What I feel is that these corporate IVF clinics are corrupting a very beautiful field due to money and greed. I think it's time for us to go back to our roots as gynecologists, do what's right. See, just because an IVF is an easy and a quick solution, it's not always the right or the natural path to pregnancy. If you want to know more about how IVF centers actually gaslight you into thinking that you need IVF, let me know in the comments down below. I'm here to tell you the truth, even though when it's hard to hear and sometimes it's very hard to say because this is happening in my own fraternity. Thank you for watching this video, and remember to like, share and subscribe for more such content that puts the power of knowledge back in your hands.